सब्सक्राइब कीजिए हमारे चैनल डिफेंसिस को और दबाइए बेल बटन को ताकि आपको मिल सके हमारी वीडियोस की अपडेट सबसे पहले।
At least 5 Rafale fighter aircraft will take off from Marignac in France Monday to arrive in India Wednesday and, if required, these aircraft can also be operationally deployed within a week amid the India-China standoff in Ladakh. According to sources in the Defense and Security Establishment, a total of 12 Indian Air Force (IAF) pilots have been fully trained on the fighter aircraft, which is considered a game-changer in the region with its unmatched firepower. Several other pilots are completing their training in France. The contract stipulates that a total of 36 pilots will be trained by French authorities, including those who will undergo training in India. While, in an official statement, the IAF had said that 5 aircraft will land Wednesday on 29th of June, but the figure could be 6. The exact number of aircraft that will take off will be known only on Monday. The IAF has said that 5 would land on July 29th in India, but this number could even be 6, a source said. According to the contract signed in September 2016, 12 aircraft are supposed to be delivered every year. The source also added that the aircraft can be operationally deployed, if needed, within a week. Under normal circumstances, it takes at least 6 months for full operational deployment. India's premier intelligence-gathering satellite EMISAT, operated by the Defence Research and Development Organization, DRDO, has taken a good look at the positions of the Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, in occupied Tibet. The satellite, which carries Gautilya, an electronic intelligence package whose capabilities are among the most highly classified and closely guarded aspects of operation for military purposes, on Saturday, 25th of July, carried out a pass over PLA positions in occupied Tibet near Arunachal Pradesh, an official source said. Built by the Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, EMISAT satellite missions monitor radio signals which are used to determine the nature and location of all the sources of transmissions in an enemy area. The satellite pass came a day after talks between India and China over the standoff over Chinese structures on Finger 4 area along the Line of Actual Control, LAC, in Pangong Tso and Ladakh, made no headway, even as both sides have agreed to continue their meetings aimed at disengagement and de-escalation. Sources said the Chinese troops have also been mobilized in Depsang sector, as soldiers could be spotted digging the area on their side of the LAC. The PLA had also intruded into Depsang in 2013. Russian newest S-400 air defense systems, acquired by China several years ago, were left without anti-aircraft guided missiles because Russia decided to stop supplying these weapons to China, reports the Chinese newspaper Sohu. The Russian side could not name the timing for the resumption of deliveries. It has been almost 5 months since the supplies have stopped. This time, Russia announced the postponement of the delivery of missiles for the Chinese S-400 system. To a certain extent, we can say that it is for the sake of China. Getting a gun is not as easy as signing an invoice after receiving the weapon. They say that the work on delivering these weapons is quite complicated. While China has to send personnel for training, Russia also needs to send a lot of technical personnel to put the weapons into service, writes Sohu. The reasons given by Russia are very heartwarming. It turns out that Russia is worried that the delivery of S-400 missiles at this time will affect the anti-pandemic actions of the Chinese army and does not want to cause trouble to China, Sohu said. India's nuclear doctrine and its strategic force posture have been evolving with a rapidly changing threat environment as perceived by New Delhi. Questions of targeting and no first-use policy are now being discussed more critically with rising belligerence from China. While Indian nuclear posture has traditionally been geared towards handling Pakistan, according to a new research, there are indications that India is now focusing more on managing threats from China and as such, strengthening its ability to bring entire Chinese territory within its nuclear strike range. Inducting deep strike-capable fighters, longer-range ballistic missiles and sea-based ballistic missiles, SSBNs, are indicative of this trend. Such increased delivery capability, incidentally, also has implications for India's nuclear dynamics with Pakistan, by widening the nuclear power gap between New Delhi and Islamabad. Agni-V missiles and Rafale jets will be game-changer for India's new defense strength, hints a latest report authored by Hans M. Christensen, director of the Nuclear Information Project in the Federation of American Scientists. In an exclusive interview with the Sunday Guardian, the top nuclear scientist spoke at length on India's nuclear forces 2020 and ahead. Sikh leaders and experts have deemed it a diplomatic victory for New Delhi after the Canadian government snubbed Punjab 2020 referendum by a US-based secessionist group that seeks a separate homeland of Khalistan for Sikhs in India. Responding to queries from ANI regarding the Canadian government's stand on the so-called referendum scheduled for November this year, a spokesperson of the country's foreign ministry stated in an email response that Canada respects the sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity of India, and the Government of Canada will not recognize the referendum. Reacting on the developments, DGP, Punjab, retired, Shashi Kant told ANI, "I don't call it a referendum because referendum only happens within the geographical limits of any country. Sitting here, we can't do a referendum on the sovereignty of the USA, United Kingdom or any other country. That is not correct." He added, "Again, the point is the statement by the Canadian government that they will not recognize the referendum 2020 by a US-based organization. This is a big victory for the government of India's foreign policy, which shows that it's paying dividends. The other countries are very much respecting India's sovereignty."